You've tried surfing and you're hooked, but the water at your local break is frickin' cold. Don't worry, we've got you covered. Stick with us and we'll break down how to choose the right suit for you. Jack O'Neill is largely credited with being the very first person to design the first wetsuit out of World War II diving materials.
But the industry has come a long way since then, enabling surfers to surf longer and in places they'd never been able to before.
Out of the wetsuits on the market, which one is right for you? And if you're already familiar and up to date with wetsuits, then you can go ahead and skip to the purchasing section.
But before we break it all down, we'd appreciate some support with a follow.
Wetsuit types. Okay, so the concept here is to pick the wetsuit that matches the water temperature that you surf in. There's basically three main categories: the vest, the spring suit, and the full suit.
There are specialty suits, which we will cover in a different episode.
All right, so the type of wetsuit that you wear is dependent on the water temp that you surf in. Big disclaimer here, everyone's threshold for cold is different, so these recommendations may not necessarily apply to you.
A vest will keep you warm from 68 and up. Then comes a spring suit from the low to upper 60s. And for everything below is when you want a full suit. Once you match the type of wetsuit, then you move on to thickness.
The thickness of a wetsuit is measured in millimeters, from 1 all the way past 6 in some cases. And that is usually shown as a 3-2 or 4-3.
And this refers to different parts of the suit having different thicknesses.
Most commonly, the first number represents the torso area, and the second number is going to be your arms and legs. This helps keep you warm where you need it most, while also providing flexibility. So which thickness should you pick?
The answer is, it depends.
If your sessions are a little bit shorter, you can get away with a thinner suit. Plus, everyone's body has a different threshold for cold, which will impact how thick your suit should be.
One of the, if not the most important thing, is your budget. How much dough are you gonna throw down?
Good news here, there's a wetsuit for just about every price point. But like most things in life, you get what you pay for.
If you look in the right places, some of them included in the description below, you can find a 3-2 for under $100. But just a heads up, not all wetsuits are created equal.
There are plenty of features out there that help with warmth, flex, and performance. But there are also plenty that don't.
Check out our top 3.
Stitching. Yes, stitching on wetsuits is very important, especially in cold water. And generally, there are 3 types.
The overlock and flatlock methods are found in the most inexpensive suits. They reduce flexibility and aren't the best at keeping water out. In worst cases, it'll actually leave a little bulge on the wetsuit, which will then result in chafing and a rash.
The blind stitch is the best method. It combines stitching, glue, and a liquid seam to create a watertight seal that's also super flexible. This is the way, if you don't mind paying for it.
Next is the seal. No, not the animal. We're talking about how the suit was put together.
The individual panels can be glued, spot taped, fully taped, or liquid taped. A lot of suits mix these methods when they're put together, but if you simply want the best, liquid tape seams are the bee's knees.
And finally, zippers. Again, multiple options here.
For a long time, the back zip wetsuit was the industry standard. However, this inhibited flexibility and it let cold water down your back, which is a terrible feeling if you've ever had it. Back zips can still be found on inexpensive suits, but we wouldn't recommend it unless you're strapped for cash or want to relive the glory days.
Today's standard is the chest zip. The zipper travels across your chest, increasing flexibility and almost removing water seepage altogether. This makes putting the wetsuit on a bit trickier, but an easy compromise for the benefits gained.
And lastly, the no zip. That's right, some suits don't have a zipper at all and rely on a drawstring. These provide the most flexibility and in some cases equal warmth to the chest zip. They're usually found in mid to expensive suits, and if given a choice, they're our preference. Be warned, putting on a no zip can be a bit tricky, but on the bright side, the process will help warm you up. So let's put it all together.
Select the wetsuit type to match your water temp.
Decide on the thickness, pick out your features, then find one in your budget. Like most things in life, it's always a balance. Your perfect suit might not be out there, so get ready to compromise. This has been a beginner's guide on how to select the right wetsuit.